Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Korean Fluency Journey. Today, I would like to explain one of the most important topics in Korean. Most Korean learners, when they learn Hangul, Korean alphabet, they just start diving into the studying grammar. This topic is also uh, part of grammar, but most people do not pay enough attention to sentence structure, basic Korean sentence structure. So that's why, in my teaching experience, when I teach Hangul syllables, and after that, I teach basic Korean sentence structure and how, because the students should know how simple Korean sentences are structured so that it will be easy for them to understand and to make up their own sentences. So today we will be talking about the word order and sentence structure in Korean. So when we learn a foreign language, it's important that we pay attention to how sentences are structured. So the concept of word order is also very important. Each language has word order. For example, in Korean, and each sentence consists of certain parts of sentence, such as subject, verb, and object. So these are the main parts of the sentence. Most of the sentences should have subject, verb, or object. If you don't have, some of them are okay to understand, but if you don't have any, then the other person cannot understand what you want to say, or your thoughts will not be complete. So that's why it's important to know them. And as I told you, every language has its own word order. In Korean, it usually looks like this: subject, object, and verb. So usually the verb, like kind of action, right, is usually placed at the end of the sentence. After this slide, I will explain in details what it means. So let's first make clear the concept subject, verb, and object. Most people are already familiar with these linguistic terms. We always use them. But to make it simple, subject is usually as a person or thing that does some sort of action. Like for example, it can be a person, it can be a thing, or anything that does action that affects something. Verb is usually associated with action. So we do something, right? So the verb do, to sleep, to love, to what else? To learn, right? These words are called verbs. Verbs are also important because they um, convey our thoughts. And object. Object is such words that are affected by verbs. For example, I listen to music. Music is called an object of the sentence, right? And now let's look at the sentence. Junu sleeps. So here we have subject, we have verb, right? Junu. And what is the subject? It is Junu. Who sleeps? You can ask who sleeps or what, right? So it is Junu who sleeps. And what does he do? He sleeps. So it means it will be what else? A verb, right? And if we translate this sentence into Korean, it will be like 준우가 자요. 준우가 자요. So Junu is the name, it's a noun, right? It's a person who, and ka here is a subject marker. So there is also e. If a word ends with a vowel, you add ka, 준우가, 가수가. But if a word ends with with consonant, you add e. subject marker. For example, 학생, 학생이, right? 선생님, 선생님이. So the sentence 준우 sleeps will be 준우가 자요. And now let's look at another example with an object. So there's a sentence, 준우 reads a book, right? So we have who reads a book? It's Junu who reads a book. Junu is the subject. And what does Junu do with a book? He reads it, right? So read is a verb. It's a kind of action, right? And number three, what does Junu read? So what here is a book. He reads a book. Book is an object. So if we translate the sentence, it will look like 준우가 책을 읽어요. So 준우가 책을 읽어요. As you can see, 준우가, as we um, learned in the previous slide, 가 is a subject marker, 준우 is the name, right? Subject. 책을, so I told you that Korean language has this word order, subject, object, and verb. So that's why the verb comes after subject, and the verb is at the end of the sentence. So it's 읽어요, so reads. So also, most Korean sentences actually do not contain any subjects. It's kind of missed, but you can easily figure it out from the context. So that's why the Korean language is considered to be a context-based language. So you always need to look and pay attention to the context, right? So in this sentence, 오늘 일찍 일어났어요. So 오늘 is today, 일찍 is earlier, and 일어났어요 is got up. So we don't have a subject here, right? Who got up earlier? It can be me or it can be another person. So we don't know. It can be referred to from the context. So you need to look at the context. So that is very important. So that's why depending on the context, you will interpret the sentence 오늘 일찍 일어났어. It can be me. So for example, I'm talking to you and I say, 오늘 일찍 일어났어요. So I got up earlier today, right? Or if you want to make it clear, it's better to use subjects in your sentences. So 준우가 오늘 일찍 일어났어요. So you're talking to other person and telling that I got early today, right? So even if we don't have any subject, it can clear from the context when you're talking about yourself, for example, right? So that's why always when you make your own sentences or when you hear to other people's sentences, make sure that you know what is subject, what is verb, and what is object. So this is very important. It's, I think, the most important grammar point, I would say so, in the Korean grammar. So that's why be careful. And when you make up sentence, always make sure that subject and verb, there should be subject and verb. If you do not use the subject, you need to make it clear so that other person can know what the subject or who the subject is. So yeah, this is basically what I prepared for today's video. Pay attention to the what we had today, word order, and the context. If you it is actually very simple, right? And an easy topic, but most people do not pay attention to this. They ignore and think that it's very basic, but no, you need to know subject, verb, object, so what they are and why we use them, so that it will be easier for you to make up sentences. So yeah, that's it for today. If you want more explanation or anything that related to basic simple structure in Korean, you can leave your comments below, or you can make your own sentences and write in the comment box so that I can look at them and then give some feedback. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope I wish you success in your learning journey of Korean language. Thank you very much.